Good evening. I'd like to call to order the Village of Gurnee Planning and Zoning Board for this Wednesday, September 17th, 2025. We have roll call, please.
Campbell.
Present.
Morgan. Gurnee.
Here.
Path. Martin.
Here.
Ware.
Here.
And Tula.
President, we do have a quorum. If everyone would please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item on the agenda is the opportunity for public comment for items that are on the agenda, but excluding the public hearing agenda items. There being no one, I'll close the floor to the public. Next item on the agenda is a final plat of subdivision request for Stonehenge subdivision lot 1.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So the final plat of the subdivision for Stonehenge subdivision 1, existing lot G1 within the reserve at the Merit Club, Unit 3 parcel consists of 37.8 plus or minus acres of land that is currently zoned R1. So the Stonehenge subdivision 1, lot 1, will divide the larger, I guess you would say mother lot, into a smaller lot 1 to accommodate for a home that is being constructed on the lot right now. So all the public improvements that are associated with the Stonehenge subdivision are in place. The subdivision plat of survey reflects adequate easements and provisions, and basically it's a simple subdivision. So staff has reviewed the subdivision plat and verified that it conforms to village ordinances, and would like to recommend a motion of approval.
I guess my only question is, I'm assuming that the placement of this lot will provide for orderly
Yes,
development of the rest
it's
of
lot 1.
So the site is part of the Merit Club PUD.
Okay.
So part of the overall development. When the PUD was approved back in the late 90s, there were several options for this north portion of the site as well as for the lot that's immediately east for either being developed as a hotel complex, as a office complex, or as some additional residential. The site already has 3 homes on it that are part of the owners of the Merit Club, the Getz family. This is for one of the, another family member. They're building this. They just requested ownership of their specific lot. So there's already private road, private water mains, private sewer mains facilitating this. As part of the subdivision, they will record covenants memorializing those access and easement rights. So it's consistent with the overall PUD that was granted back in the 90s, and it's just a furtherance of some of the owners' homes in the area.
And the way it's situated, it just makes sense that the rest can be orderly
Yes.
developed in an orderly manner.
Most of it's
Okay.
large homes out there already.
Okay.
So they're sporadically placed around this existing lot. It doesn't preclude additional homes.
Okay.
I think that the PUD allowed for up to 7 homes on this 37-acre parcel. So this would be number 4.
Good, thank you. Does anyone else have any questions or comments? If not, a motion in the form of a recommendation to the village board would be in order. Leanna, go ahead.
Okay, sure. Approve Lot 1 of the final subdivision plat for Stonehenge Subdivision 1, located at 6333 Belvedere Road.
And I just want to clarify that's a motion in the form of a recommendation. Sorry. Any comments? Did you just second, Dave?
Yeah.
Okay. Do we have a roll call, please?
Campbell.
Aye.
Gurnee.
Aye.
Martin.
Aye.
Ware.
Aye.
And Tula.
Aye, motion carries. Next item on the agenda is a public hearing. Request for Seasons at Gurnee for 16, almost 16 and a half acres located at 0 Tri-State Parkway.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I actually had given my introductions to Joanne along with the roll call. I do apologize. So I don't have the introduction. Okay, thank you so much. So Fiduciary Real Estate Development Incorporated attended its second and final informal review at the May 7, 2025 Planning and Zoning Board meeting, where they presented their revised development plan for Seasons at Gurnee Residential Apartments. The petitioner has worked closely with staff to make adjustments to refine their concept plan and minimize the number and extent of relief requested. All bulk standards proposed are to be met for the R6 district, with the exception of a 30-foot front yard setback, which requires a variation for relief. At this time, there's a representative that would like to do a presentation.
As this is a public hearing, I would request anyone who intends to give testimony or ask questions to please stand and be sworn in.
Please raise your right hand. Do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
At this time, I'll turn it over to you. If you can just please state your name.
Good evening. My name is Tony DeRosa with Fiduciary Real Estate Development. Address is 789 North Water Street in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Thank you for the opportunity to be back before you. This is our third time here, and we're excited to be at the milestone that we are at this point in the process. So we've put together a presentation very similar to what you've seen before. So we're going to skip over a fair amount of this, and then we'll just touch on kind of the highlights of what we're talking about. So you know our team, you know who we are. We've been around for 40 years. You know what we can do and what we do. So if you go back, if you could go back, Shannon, one slide, please, to the wetland impact one. Yeah, so just as a quick reminder, this site is a very unique site. As we've shared with you previously, there's existing wetlands and there's an existing stormwater pond that you can see on the map. The buildable area is that red hatched area on the right side. It's about roughly 7 acres, plus or minus. Everything to the left of that is either the dark shaded area, which is an existing stormwater pond that picks up some of the stormwater from the property to our north, the car dealership. Excuse me, and then the land to the west of that, that's hatched slightly lighter. That's all a low quality existing wetlands that are in place. So at the end of the day, you've got a 16.5 acre site, of which about 45% is actually buildable. So in May, we talked a lot about highest and best use for this property. So while the property is currently designated O2 for general office use, the significant decline in office demand accelerated by a lot of remote work taking place has really diminished the viability for a new office development at this property. Retail development as another potential use we don't think is well suited for this property due to its proximity to Gurnee Mills, ongoing impacts with e-commerce reducing a lot of the demand for brick and mortar, especially on a site that doesn't front Grand, for example. Also, you look at industrial as a potential use for this site. The site has a very unique configuration. It's very shallow. You've got wetland impacts, not ideal for industrial either. So we look at what do we think is the highest and best use here. Obviously, we've concluded multifamily. We think it meets some of the key criteria for a multifamily project in terms of its proximity to major employment centers, which is significant. Proximity to major retail. The interstate access is second to none in this location. There's great access to public transit. And we have the ability here to deliver a high quality community that really does not exist in this immediate area. That, in addition to the recreational amenities and some of the site features, the wetlands and whatnot, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on in our presentation. So back in May, you received a memo in your staff packet that was conducted by the village consultant, Camiros, their planning consultant for the village. And I think at the time the request was made by village planning staff to have Camiros give their opinion on what they thought of the subject property for a multifamily use. So they concluded that this site provides an opportunity for residential development, in particular higher density development. And they thought that designating this site for multifamily would help achieve the housing diversity goals that are in the comprehensive plan. But they also highlighted a number of factors which indicate that the site would be appropriate for such use. And these include, Number one is access, that there's great access to the site from Grand Avenue. Also, the site is proximate to the public transit that I mentioned before. In terms of the second one, amenities, there's existing stormwater facilities. There's existing wetlands on the site that can function as a natural amenity, and I think we've really embraced that in our design. And lastly, while not as critical, public facilities, we're in close proximity to 2 schools. Compared to our original plan from a year ago, when we were here in May, and what our plan still holds today, is we actually removed all the 3-bedroom units from our plan. That was a comment that we heard, and that would also really lessen or really eliminate any potential impact related to the schools. So in terms of future development of the site, they encourage, sensitivity to certain aspects, that the property should be buffered properly. We think we've accomplished that, and really look at landscaping along Tri-State Parkway. Existing stormwater facilities and wetlands should be integrated into the development was one of their key points. But in summary, they thought it was a very promising opportunity for a higher density multifamily opportunity. When we look at the site plan really has not changed since what we presented to you back in May. We still have the mowed walking paths. It's hard to read, but you can see on the left side of the screen, the whole green area is wetlands. Along the edge between the wetlands and the existing stormwater ponds, we've created walking trails, benches to really embrace and give some nice amenity features to the development. We've also maintained the same setback we shared with you back in May, which is a 20-foot minimum setback along Tri-State Parkway. We are, however, 30 feet from back of curb to our building. So that's one of the variance items, or the only variance items that is on the agenda tonight related to this project. And that area where we don't meet the full 30-foot setback, it's only about 50% of our frontage on Tri-State that does not technically comply. The clubhouse is still located in a great spot, which we think really activates the frontage and pushes some of the residential buildings back a little bit further into the site. We've added some landscaping enhancements along our property line along Tri-State Parkway, and we have absolutely eliminated any wetland impacts or wetland buffer impacts. We're out of both areas 100%. So we'll just walk you through some of the pictures. This was a picture of the back of the building, so we're looking more towards the northeast and east. You can see the existing stormwater pond that will get used with the development. You can see the mowed walking path that we're going to put through. We'll have some benches to create an area people can walk their dogs, a nice green space amenity. The next picture, just another angle of it, same concept. And then a new image for you guys tonight is the clubhouse. We've designed a really nice high-end luxury looking clubhouse. We have a couple pictures of the interior. We have a club room that our residents can use, rent out for parties, rent out for events, birthday parties, full fitness center, outdoor pool, grilling station, to name a few. With the size of this project we still have the benefit and enough scale and massing to provide, a first-class full complement of amenities for our residents. In terms of design, nothing has changed in the design. We've kept the same design that we share with you that we receive very positive feedback on. Again, some of the more in-demand single-family features that are part of this project, we have direct access garages available. We have full patios and balconies for all of our apartment homes. We have private entrances. All of our primary suites or primary bedrooms have walk-in closets, and we provide a stainless steel upgraded appliance package for all of our residents. In terms of the finished package on the inside, we consider this more in lines of what you'd find in a single-family home, new construction today. With quartz. Oh, Shannon, could you go back one slide, please? Thank you. Upgraded appliances, quartz countertops, open concept floor plans, full-size washers and dryers. Everything you'd find in a new home today that I think will really set us apart in the market. Now you can go to the next slide, please. So in closing, just a couple things. In terms of market demand, we do a lot of market research. We've been looking for opportunities in this market and part of this county for a long time. There's a lot of pent-up demand for something that is not your typical 3- and 4-story apartment building with an elevator, something where you have your own private entrance, has more of a condo or a townhome type feel. We're very active in the suburbs, and our renters are telling us this is what we want. This is what we want our home to look and feel like. Our demographics are people that are looking for more of kind of a modern suburban type feel, a place that they can call home. These are empty nesters. These are baby boomers. These are many people that are choosing to rent. And with the high concentration of employment in the area, I think this area, this location will be very well suited for the amount of employees in the local area. And at the end of the day, I mentioned before, this is not your typical 3- and 4-story building. That's what I really think makes this unique in the marketplace. We build mostly 2-story buildings in our development business. And compared to 3- and 4-story, people just love the smaller scale. It blends in better to the community. People like the more homely feature of these. At the end of the day, these kind of feel and look more like big homes than a monster, 4-story apartment building. So we're really excited about the opportunity here, and we'd be happy to answer any questions you might have about our proposal this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. First comment I have, I think, is more for staff and legal. As the prior meetings were informal, is there anything more that we need to document in this evening's meeting? Because we cannot incorporate by reference the informal meetings, correct?
Correct. We just need to make sure we hit the standards for approval for both the for the rezoning as well as the variance,
Okay, and you're comfortable we've done that?
which were stated in the application.
Okay, great. Okay. Any questions? Dave?
No, I don't have any questions, and I reviewed the submittal and the standards, and so far it seems as though everything that was discussed in the informals has been implemented and been inaccurate, is accurate based on the things that we've discussed before. And again, I think it looks like a good project, and I'm pleased where it's come to this point. So.
Thank you. Leanna? Ed?
No.
Nope. Okay, this time I'll go through the formality of opening the floor to the public. Doesn't look like there's anybody here. Close the floor to the public. Any final comments before we go to motion? If not, motions in the form of recommendations to the village board would be in order. Go ahead.
Yes, I move we forward a favorable recommendation for the petition for a zoning map amendment to rezone one parcel of land totaling approximately 16.49 acres from the existing O2 office campus district to R6 multifamily residential district, seeing that it does meet the standards for zoning map amendment.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Todd. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Campbell,
Aye.
Nordentoff,
Aye.
Martin,
Aye.
Ware,
Aye.
and Zula.
Aye, motion carries. The next one, it also requires.
Correct.
Okay, so another motion in the form of a recommendation.
Very happy to do that. I move that we forward a favorable recommendation to the village board to approve the variation request to reduce the front yard setback requirement from 30 to 20 feet to accommodate Seasons at Gurnee, a proposed multifamily residential development, seeing again that it does meet the standards for variation.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Todd. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Campbell,
Aye.
Nordentoff,
Aye.
Martin,
Aye.
Ware,
Aye.
and Zula.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you. Good luck. Staff will keep you posted in terms of when it goes to the village board. It's been a good example of using the informal process, and I'm glad that you guys stuck with it. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is a public hearing zoning text amendment requested by staff related to accessory structure.
This one's all mine.
Okay.
Okay, so following up on our previous informal discussion that we had discussing accessory structures in residential properties, and consistent with the recommendations and the feedback that we got from our informal, staff is proposing amendments to the official zoning code, basically in 4 different areas: height, footprint, quantity, and use. So height, I put together Shannon has it up there, put together a demonstration. So in order to make our accessory structures subordinate in nature to the primary structures, we are proposing to measure the peak of the accessory structures against the mid-peak of the primary structures. So right now, our zoning code under definitions and measurements defines height of residential structures as the mid-peak. So this is further defining accessory structures to the peak so that we get the shorter version. So this is a perfect example of it. You can see the garage in appearance at this point looks subordinate in nature to the primary structure of the home. So that's by changing that one definition in rules of measurement, we're able to accomplish that aspect of it. The second aspect, quantity, was a little trickier. The concept was limiting the number of accessory structures on a site. So the way our zoning code reads, accessory structures are defined as everything from your air conditioning unit outside your house, a generator if you have it, your fence, so several different means of accessory structures. So what we did was we excluded fences because they really don't add to the bulk of the yard usage. And then we also limited it to any accessory structure 25 square feet or greater, any permitted accessory structure 25 square feet or greater. So that if you have a dog house, which is considered a accessory structure, it's less than 25 feet, it doesn't count towards it. That was just kind of a number I pulled out. So a typical hot tub would count because it would exceed the 25 square feet. Most of your sheds are going to count, but things like air conditioner units and things like that would not. So that was the intent behind that one. The third one is the footprint. This one was pretty straightforward. You know, currently, the cumulative footprint of all of the accessory structures cannot exceed 100% of the footprint of the house. So once again, trying to make accessory structures subordinate in nature, we lowered that threshold down to 75%. And that was a pretty straightforward amendment to the code. Do that and once again make it, force it to be subordinate in nature. The final one was use. We had talked about, the potential conversion of garage structures, second floors of garage structures. We've seen it occasionally in the past, whereby, second floors are used for apartments, mother-in-law suites, things like that. So in order to, try to keep that out of that realm, we're prohibiting permanent stairs in accessory structures. So trying to keep that second floor usage to be a accessory use and not a potential principal use. So we already had a few aspects of the building code or the building that could not happen. So you cannot have a kitchen, you cannot have a full bathroom, you cannot have a sleeping area, and then we added to that permanent stairways to the attic space. So just trying to keep it secondary in nature. So those are the four general categories. I think I hit the majority of the concerns that were expressed at the last informal meeting and open it up to any discussion from the Planning and Zoning Board.
Any questions, comments?
I think we nailed it.
Okay.
I agree.
Leanna? No. I think you did a great job pulling it all together. I want to get memorialized for the record. There's no one here, so I haven't opened the floor to the public, even though this is a public hearing. The next step would be motions in the form of recommendations to the village board. God, you look anxious.
Okay. I move that we provide a favorable recommendation to the board and recommend the village board approve the petition to amend Article 2.2 titled Rules and Measurements to amend the definition of building height to define the maximum height
for accessory structures as proposed, and Article 10.2 titled Accessory Structures and Uses, to amend the general regulations for accessory structures to regulate bulk standard relating to accessory structures as proposed.
Second.
Any discussion? We have a roll call, please.
Campbell,
Aye.
Nortop,
Aye.
Martin,
Aye.
Ware,
Aye.
and Zula.
Aye, motion carries. Good job. Next meeting on the calendar is scheduled for October 8th.
Nothing has been advertised at this point. Don't really have any plats that are brewing. The only thing that we have coming up is a potential car wash user that would require a special use permit by the Bona Beef site. They have yet to formally submit. Heard from them last week that they are under contract, though, so they're working through their submittal requirements right now, so that will be at some point, maybe in October, maybe November.
So stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
I guess I just have a comment. I think about on the calendar.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to open the floor to the public since there's no one here. Motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
Second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thanks, everyone. Enjoy the wonderful weather.